I just think right now we have so many issues that we need to tackle. The climate crisis, so many social issues and so many social inequalities, but also really big new innovations and ideas that are being created, that I think it's so important to have forums where people come together and you can listen to change makers, you can listen to people who are creating this new world, and I just think it's a really great space for that to happen. So I was really drawn to it, especially because it's international and because it's about ideas, and I love talking about ideas and theorising and visioning the future. I'm loving Leeds so far. I really like the city, it's nice, but it's also not as overwhelming as the cities I've been to before and have lived in, so I've really been enjoying it, and also just talking to people from the community as well. I managed to catch the youth climate strike yesterday in Leeds, and that was really great to see the other young people doing activism. I think on the high level, when climate policies are actually being talked about and addressed, what's missing is the inclusion and the diversity of activists that there are, and the social justice issues as well that are really being pushed and advocated for on a grassroots level, and those need to be represented, and people need to be represented. People aren't voiceless, but they just need their voices heard and need to be platformed. And I think that's so important. And I also think in the mainstream of climate, the solutions aren't talked about a lot, and it's not talked about that greener, better future that will actually benefit all of us, people and planet. I think climate doomism is a word that's frequently come up, and like doom scrolling through Twitter about like all the bad things happening. And I really think that we need to be serious when we look at the climate crisis that we are in, so that we can feel that urgency and feel rallied to actually stand up and push for action. But also we need to know that we still have time and there's still a chance for us to truly achieve climate action, and believe in the power that we all have together, that collective power. And that hope is really the most powerful tool against the status quo. And those who are pushing climate destruction don't want us to have that hope. And that is what we need to keep on to. And so we need to go completely against that doomism and rally together with that hope and that unifying power. I think it's, first of all, fossil fuel companies who are really profiting off of this crisis, but I also think, there's climate denial, and then there's those in government who are delaying action and are not taking action on the climate crisis that we so desperately need. And I think, we really have to push and advocate for action, and there is room for us to push into there and work collaboratively, but I do think there is a lot of pushback and trying to really silence activism and silence what's going on. And I think we just have to try and block out that noise and push forward and know that we've really planted those seeds now of change and keep that resistance going. I think for me, it's great for people to make individual eco choices at home, but also as part of the bigger activism movement, even if people have a small amount of time, maybe showing out to a protest or maybe supporting someone's voice online, or even learning more about it and talking more about it with your friends and family. If you're feeling a lot of anxiety about the future as well, you'll be surprised at just how many people around you are also feeling that, and you start to build that in your own communities, which I think is really important. And no matter what role or what skills you have or what time you have, you are needed and you are very valuable. I think that's something really important that people need to remember, and especially in this cost of living crisis, that actually the climate crisis is so connected to that energy crisis, and we can really connect there, and there are many different social issues and groups that are rising too because of that, and I think that's the future that we're heading towards, that real connection.